Before I start my ride, my review ride of my Esker Japhy, I wanted to show you the tires I'm running. These are the Terravel Honchos 2.5 in the back, so they have a little more traction than my Maxxis Recons, which are kind of a cross-country tire. And then in the front, these are the Terravel Coronados. About the same amount, a little less traction actually than my Honchos, but they're wide, they're 2.8s. And they're on a 35 millimeter rim, so that helps spread them out a little bit. But they do better on a 40 millimeter rim. So that's what I'm running. That's the tires I'm running. And this first part is pretty easy. But as you guys know, I like to ride my local trails, and I like it because it's chunky and smooth, and it gives me a little mix of some long straight sections, and then I get down into my El Prieto trail, which has got a lot of switchbacks and technical sections that it takes a little finesse to be able to do it with your feet clipped in your pedals. This is real smooth, and you see why I went years riding nothing but a fully rigid or a full rigid single speed, because I could. But now that I have this single speed with this Fox float on it, and especially because I have this dropper post, I really like this Fox dropper post, and it feels a little bit better than my other dropper post. It's definitely it's tighter tolerances. It doesn't jiggle around as much. But as you can see, with a single speed and where I ride, it just makes sense to have a single speed, and because you don't have to pedal. So once you earn your turn and climb up the mountain, you're pretty much just using gravity to get back down. And so it's a grind to come up, that's for sure. But you don't have long flat sections that I guess some people with their single speeds, they have to deal with having a bike or a trail where they have to decide whether they want to gear it enough to handle those flat sections so they're not spinning out, but then also handle those steeper sections where it's maybe too much if they choose a hard gear. So here I choose a small gear, an easy gear, and I just grind it out, get myself up here, and then on the way down, except for these little climbing sections like this, but for the most part, it's all just coasting down. It's hot today, guys. I'm hot. I'm a little bit gassed. So I'm not gonna push myself for a fast time. There we go. I like this section. This is one of my funnest sections on the top. So it's Sunday. It's Father's Day Sunday. Hello. Hello. Well, that was a kind of a buzzkill. That is actually one of the fastest sections. We got one more little fast section coming up at the very end after there's a little bit of a climb. I'll tell you what, the climbing was killing me today. It's hot and I don't know, I was a little bit gassed today. It wasn't, I rode, this is my 5th day this week riding, so I've been riding a lot, but I always try to ride a lot, so that's nothing new. But it's also been really, really hot, and I've been riding at 6 or 7 a.m. and today was Sunday, and I slept in and didn't start riding till 9, which is late for when you want to do when it's a hot day. I was 2 hours late for this ride. There we go. So I hope you guys saw that, but I see these deers up here and it's really nice. They're these mule deer that are living in these mountains, and they're just beautiful. And having deer in the mountains is a good sign. That means there's not a mountain lion there. Well, if there is, I guess he's not that hungry and he's leaving them alone. So everything I ride is on Strava, and all these trails obviously are frequently put on Strava, and everybody has their times, and Strava is kind of crowdsources, and you can look at your time, compare it to other people's time that rode, of all time, that year, even that day. You can look back at what was the best time that day. So it's pretty interesting. You can go by age group, by weight class. So they have these different ways to kind of analyze your data, which is nice. One thing that I don't think is fair, or just I wish Strava would make a very clear distinction, and that's with e-bikes. And if you have an e-bike, they need to just let you register your bike as an e-bike and not compare your time to the rest of the world that's riding human powered bikes. So obviously a motor is gonna give you a motorized advantage, and it's not going to be a fair comparison with people that are using non-motorized bicycles. I don't even care if your bicycle is a super lightweight cross-country racer bike that's only 20 pounds, and you're riding up in just a skin lycra suit and nothing else, and I mean, more power to you if that's how you roll. But I mean, we're not even taking that into account compared to someone who's riding up on a heavier bike with a full pack of Camelback and water and tools and everything else. Because there are people that come up here with really nothing, and it's up to them if they want to take that chance and have to walk home when they don't have the equipment they need when their bike breaks down. I mean, you could strap a CO2 in a tube and tire levers to your frame, and some of the newer frames have these little trapdoor stash places, and there's some of these micro tools that fit inside your through axle or your stem, or I should say it goes right down into your headset. The one by One Up, they've got some that connect to your water bottle cage, and some people still use a seat pack, but I've just been a guy that likes the Camelback since they came out. And my Camelback, I'm not sure if you saw my old video or if I still have it posted, where I talked about my Camelback with the it's got like a pad protection in the back to protect my spine, because that's really your most critical area.